states have been given the full authority to levy the tax at whatever level. So even we know that every year the taxes have been increased on the cigarettes or alcohols, everything. But still people do not stop to go for the drinks. They go in the bar or they consume the liquor at home. Similarly, like narcotic drugs as well. So this is why this is one of the major source of revenue has been given to the states. You deal with this commodity as you wish. The political will as you wish. You want to increase, you can levy the rate of tax to 100%. We don't have any reservation problem. Now friends, very important, taxable persons are remain under GST. All type of persons, see very important, all type of persons carrying on business activities, whether he is a manufacturer, whether he is a job worker, whether he is a trader, importer, exporter, and very important, all types of service providers are now taxable persons. If a company has 6 branches in 6 different states, then all the 6 branches will be considered as taxable entities under each of the jurisdiction of the state government concerns. As far as this amendment is concerned, this is as on today also, if we are having branches in any other states, we are getting registration done in those states also, we are getting those taxes. But not for the CGST, now everything will have to be done. For central excise, we have the registration only at the place of manufacture. Now you will have to get it yourself registered for the purpose of CGST also in those states, if you are carrying the business from that state. As Jain has already told you that GST will be applicable on supply. So the earlier concept of manufacture, sale, provision of services will lose its relevance. So anywhere, wherever the concept of supply will come, it will be GST will be applicable. As he has already said, the word supply has been not defined. Nowhere given in the constitution what is meant by supply. So what will happen tomorrow? This supply means as on today we know the Sale of Goods Act is what it says. If it is a sale for a consideration, then tax gets attracted. What will happen to free supplies? You know, in many commodities like pharmaceutical, there are free supplies has been given. Whether it will be taxable under GST or not taxable. What do you feel? It will be affected. GST will be affected on free supplies?
Yes.
Why?
I doubt it because it is for health reason if it is been given.
It is for the health, so it should be exempted. Okay.
Free samples are also been covered under excise.
Huh?
Free samples at the moment are already covered under excise. So probably that same
logic will apply and then free goods will be taxed. Right? Yes. If you see the example today, the many states is having the concept of tax on MRP for the purpose of VAT. And in those states, if the goods, this tax is collected on MRP, then the free goods are not allowed. On free goods also they have to collect the VAT and pay to the government treasury. So even many high courts has given different judgments, we will not go in those judgments right now. So friends, concept of manufacturer will go away totally. No controversies. No any controversies will arise whether this is manufacturing, this is services, whether it's a software package or whether it's a consultancy, all these things will go away. Whether the process of manufacturing will be challenged or not, no, it will not be challenged. This is what we are expecting. Let us still affirm on that. So friends, basics of the GST. GST will be tax on goods as well as on services. Taxable event will be supply of goods, supply of services, and import of goods or services. Taxable when supply is made for consideration, very important. The concept of deemed supply is very important. You have to see the answer in the next presentation. Interstate supplies. This is one the important concept where I want to bring your attention, friends. Integrated GST. As of today, we have the CST when we sell the goods to the outside Maharashtra state. We collect the 2% CST against the CPOM. If CPOM is not provided, then we levy the full 25% tax and sell it to the outside state. The outside state officer who is buying the goods from us, he is not able to take the input tax credit of sale. Now what is going to happen in the GST? In the GST, all the supplies in the interstate trade or commerce will be levied and collected by the same. Right now also CST is getting collected by the central but again appropriated to the state governments. The concept has been kept same in the mind by the government, but in a different formats. Now, as on today, present constitution bill which is lying in the parliament says 1% additional tax by center, means in the form of CST you can call it, for originating state for the 2 years and can be extended further. Now, original state says that the state of Maharashtra is selling to Gujarat. So, this 1% tax will be appropriated by the central government to the state government of Maharashtra. Now, why this 1% concept has come or 2% of? If you remember earlier, Congress government wanted to bring the GST, and who was opposing it? BJP.
Yeah.
But more prominently Narendra Modi. If you, many of you, I don't know whether knowing the provisions of Gujarat state, even as on today under the VAT is what? If you are making interstate sale, there is 1% retention on ITC. If you make a stock transfers outside Gujarat, retention is 4%. So basically the concept of GST was opposed by the Narendra Modi without thinking that once he will be Prime Minister and he is going to implement and everybody is going to oppose it. So this is what happened, friends. Let us not go into those details. Now imports need to be supplied in the course of interstate trade and commerce. So now imports will be part of the GST. How the input tax credit will be available to us? As on today, we know that excise duty, we are very much familiar with the concept of excise duty sale-back. We pay the sale-back to on our purchases, we take the credit and adjust against our duty liability. Similarly now, CGST can be adjusted against the CGST. CGST input tax credit can be adjusted against liability of the CGST. SGST, again state GST, input tax credit can be adjusted against the output of the SGST. The very important part is IGST. As on today, we don't have the input tax credit of the CST. But the central government has proposed now this IGST, which will be consisting CGST as well as SGST. Suppose I am making sale of 100 to the state of Gujarat. I will levy CGST of 10%, I will levy the 10% of SGST, which will be known as a IGST 20%. It will be a combined rate of both the taxes, CGST as well as SGST, and that 20% will be charged as an interstate GST, IGST. The tax rate will be 20% in the form of IGST. Now this IGST credit will be available to us or not? This is very, very important, the base of the GST to remove the cascading effect of taxes. Yes friends, IGST is made available for the input tax credit. Very, very important. But how to utilize this IGST? You can, if you have purchased the goods interstate, let us take example, you have purchased the goods from Rajasthan or Gujarat or any state, and you have paid the IGST on those purchases once GST is implemented. This IGST you can utilize for the purpose of by way of ITC input tax credit. First you have to clear your IGST liability if it is there. Then balance is there where you can utilize for the purpose of CGST. Local tax collection on the part of CGST also you can adjust your IGST. And if any balance is left out, then you can adjust against the SGST. So what is the end result will be that whatever you have paid by way of IGST, by way of CST in a different terminology to use it, present terminology of central sales tax, you will get full input tax credit of that amount. This is the beauty of the GST law which is coming. As far as if you ask me what is something new in the GST, I will say this is the new in the GST. This is a new concept, very good concept, and industry should be happy with this. So very, very clear here. The rules for taking a utilization of credit for CGST and SGST is yet to be aligned. The central government is yet to say that what way you are going to take credit. But SGST you can adjust against SGST, CGST you can adjust with CGST, and IGST you can utilize in all the three formats of the GST.
Sir, what happens to the credit? Can it be utilized to pay the 1% additional tax? Or does the government expect that the 1% additional tax has to be always be paid by
1%
cash?
additional tax is nowhere part of GST. It is additional tax. So additional tax is not available for the purpose of ITC.
So at all times it has to be paid by cash or PL, whatever.
Yes. So credit eligibility business to business, as far as business to business is concerned, full eligibility will be available, credit is available, but when business to consumer it will go. I am putting in very simple terms. When it will go to business to consumer, consumer will not entitle any credit of it. So very simple input tax credit. Again, as I said, कि SGST and CGST again. As on today, excise duty can be adjusted again only. CNVAT is adjusted again excise duty liability. VAT is again VAT liability. Similar concept is continuing in the GST. So CGST and SGST you cannot have the cross utilization. Very simple. Second thing, it is not refundable. As on today, excise duty is refundable. CNVAT available under excise duty. Is available, refund is available?
Yes. As far as I know, it is available.
No, sir. You can carry forward. As far as CNVAT is concerned, you can carry forward. As far as VAT is concerned, you get refund. But as on today, what I have learned from that, it will not be refundable except in case of exports and supplies to SEZ. If there is supplies to exports and SEZ, then you will get refundable.
What is like drawback?
All exemptions to be harmonized. Already, Jain Sahab has covered that. There are lots of exemptions in many states. So, Kashmir is having different. Uttaranchal, all these people is having the exemptions. What will happen to that? Now, here the GST Council, which I said is part of Constitution Amendment Bill, they are going to decide and finalize all the exemptions which are available to the different formats in the different states. So, what they are saying is that it will be harmonized between the center and as well between the states across goods and services. As on today, services there is no any exemptions according to my knowledge. Now it will be covered, right? और है कुछ पता नहीं, मैं ज़्यादा सर्विस का नहीं करता हूँ. Of course, friends, Central is empowered to issue additional exemption on an all India basis. Central has kept that power with them because now Andhra Pradesh, Telangana and Andhra Pradesh, those two divided countries, they are asking for exemptions. They are bent upon it. If they say if you are not going to give us exemption, we will not pass the SGST bill itself. We will not even support it for the constitutional amendment bill. So these things are there. So there may be possibility exemption in some form, maybe in the cash refund form, but will be made available in those states as well. So friends, as I said, CST Act will be abolished or not. There are many wrong conceptions in the minds of the people that after introduction of GST, CST will altogether will be eliminated. No friends, CST Act will continue. I will bring to you another one more slide where how it is required. So CST will be retained, but as I said, 1% tax, as somebody was asking, will play the role. It may be possible they will call it 1% additional tax or they will call it 1% tax. It is yet to be decided. Then non-GST goods, alcohol, petroleum products are not covered under the GST. So as far as those goods are concerned, when it will have the interstate transactions, the CST Act will continue as it is. Then as we were talking about additional tax 1%, whether when the GST or constitutional amendment means all supplies to be taxed. So whether supplies in the form of stock transfer will also be taxed for the purpose of this 1%. This was also bone of contention as said by earlier speaker that Congress is opposing this, or the person who drafted the GST is also saying the 1% tax on the stock transfer will be also cascading effect. So now the recommended select committee which was formed by the Rajya Sabha for the deciding the factors of the amendment of the constitution bill, they recommended that this 1% tax, additional tax, only when there will be interstate supply of goods for the consideration. So if there is any interstate sale within the two states, though IGST will be there, additional 1% tax will be there. when there is no interstate sale, but only a stock transfer from Pune branch to Gujarat branch, Maharashtra branch to Gujarat branch or any other branch, there will be IGST, but again credit is available in Gujarat state. So very, very important part, friends, the last point, that is power of central government for declared goods removed. So far, till today, we are well versed with the concept of declared goods, where the state governments have been having restricted powers to levy the tax, VAT, or even for interstate goods, interstate transaction, it is double the local rate of tax. But now this concept of declared goods is totally getting removed from the constitution. Which are those declared goods? Generally or more frequently we come across is iron and steel. There are many, this big list is there. But what will happen to that? The effect of this removal of the declared goods will result into some of the goods, there will be a levy of tax at a higher rate, so prices may go up at the end to consumer level. This will be the very, very far-reaching amendment is coming in this form. So friends, lastly, just I will touch upon GST key features, that central and state both will have the concurrent power to levy tax on all the goods and services. The important part is both central GST and state GST to be levied on common base price. What is common base price? As on today, we are levying the, see, I am manufacturer of goods, my sale price is 100, then I am removing from the factory. On 100, I am levying the excise duty of 10%, it becomes 110. Then I am levying the VAT on that 12.5%. So I am levying VAT on 110. Under the GST, what is going to happen is, we have to levy both CGST and SGST at a common base price. That will become 100 only. So the cascading effect on the taxes will totally go away. Now another part is, GST is a destination-based state GST. Means the goods will be supplied from Maharashtra, it will reach to the Bihar, and the Bihar state will get the revenue of the same. This is what the bone of contention between the developed states and Nimaru states or underdeveloped states. That is what our chief guest was also telling. That is why the bone of contention is fighting or revenue is going on between the 2 states or 4 states or 5 states. And they are fighting tooth and nail, and that's why this 1% additional tax, which is now will be having the cascading effect from 1 state to 2 states. If it goes on rolling, the movement of goods, then it will have cascading effect. But that 1% tax is meant for this purpose only. Very important, there will not be litigation because there will be uniform classification. Goods, for the goods there will be HSN system or ITC code. Services, it will be tradable services under GATT. Uniform returns, challan, etc. and collection procedure for central and state GST. 13-digit base PAN common registration, P6 system to track the transaction. No cascading of central and state taxes. Cross credit between central and state is not allowed, as I said. Now friends, whatever today we have the PAN number, we have the PIN numbers for different everything. Now these all PIN numbers will be converted into 13-digit number under the GST. But it will again be the PAN base. As on today, our PIN numbers are not PAN based, not based on the PAN number. Am I right, sir? Now, in future, what will happen? After the GST introduction, our PIN number is going to change. So, friends, in the GST tax will be levied from production, right from the production to the stage of consumption. Everywhere the taxes will be there, and it will operate in parallel. CGST and SGST will operate in the parallel throughout the supply chain. Where it will have the common market all over India. Of course, the very important part is taxpayer-friendly measures like e-refunds. Any filing will use the interface between the administrator and ensure corruption-free regime. This is what again a big aim of the government, or we can say big expectation of the industry, that we will get e-refunds and we will get e-filing mechanism. Already we are having e-filing mechanism, but it will be in a simplified form for both the acts. And there will be a corruption-free regime. I don't know how much it will be, they will be successful to give us the corruption-free regime, but this is what they expected. So friends, there will be only three types of taxes. One will be, there will be only income tax, there will be GST, and third one tax will be, as we are, everyone is paying, that is property tax. Now,
There will be a single return for the GST, CGST and IGST.
this is what we are expecting, and that there will be a single return, and from that return itself the revenue towards CGST will go to CGST, SGST will go to the SGST. But that's why we have kept one more session here. Mr. Bhagat is coming, we will speak on the state preparedness of the GST. There we will get more idea whether there will be two returns or single return. But according to me, it should be one return. This GST will enable the next phase of custom reform. Customs, as of today, custom is not part of our reform under GST. Once GST is implemented, then I think customs will also be, will have the changes in the Customs Act also. Then definitely, what will the effect of this? Wherever the firms would like to go to the low cost production centers, they will like to change their production processes, they will like to change their place of business. This is how we are discussed. Now GST Council. Here in this new Constitution Amendment Bill, friends, this is the most powerful center, most powerful place, wherein the entire